Night has fallen in Indianapolis, Indiana. And while the city lays quiet outside, there's plenty to do inside. One can only hope the hoop looks this big from the Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament presented by TIAA. The Big Ten Basketball Tournament on Big Ten Network is presented by TIAA, and the final game of the second round about to get underway as the USC Trojans are back on this floor to take on the Purdue Boilermakers. Earlier tonight, Illinois eliminates Iowa 106-94. Oregon and Wisconsin advancing earlier today. One more game before the quarterfinal Friday is set. And we welcome you back courtside alongside my partner, Robbie Hummel. I'm Kevin Kugler. You look at that bracket, and oh my, are things shaping up for a fun day tomorrow.
Well, day one, it was pretty much all upsets, and then here it's been chalk. We'll see what happens. USC, certainly something to say about that. Some questions about their legs, but so far, this has been an unbelievable event, as it always is in Indianapolis.
And for the first time in this tournament, we get to see the Big Ten Player of the Year tonight, Braden Smith.
Well, he has lived up to the billing. The preseason Player of the Year, you don't always see it where they win the Player of the Year award. But 10th in scoring, leads the league in assists, is second nationally, also second in steals. Braden Smith, though, over the last 3 games, has really scored it, averaging 21 a game, shooting 47% from 3. The confidence in his jumper has been there. Braden Smith, a very deserving Big Ten Player of the Year.
Well, you talked about the legs of USC. The reason there are questions is because they needed to go 2 overtimes to get here against Rutgers.
Yeah, they found a way against Rutgers. Certainly the turnovers were a big problem, but Desmond Claude was a big positive for what the Trojans were doing. He goes for 22 of his 28 points after the break. Also had 8 assists. He's going to be top of the scouting report alongside Wesley Yates, who went for 30 in the only meeting this year. Claude can get downhill, and Purdue at times this year has had trouble containing guards that can get to the rim. That's Claude, and that's Yates.
Well, it may be a neutral court, at least on paper. But USC is going to find out very quickly that this crowd is very much a Purdue crowd in Indianapolis. This is going to be fun. What a way to close out the night. USC and Purdue. And with your starting lineups, we send it over to our PA announcer, Gene Honda.
Good evening and welcome to Game 7 of the 2025 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament. Tonight's game features the USC Trojans and the Purdue Boilermakers. It's now time for tonight's Lock in the Win starting lineups presented by TIAA. Let's meet the starting lineups. At forward for USC, a 6'8" graduate student from Chicago, Illinois. Number 12, Rashawn Agee. At forward for Purdue, a 6'9" junior from Sellersburg, Indiana. Number 4, Trey Kaufman-Wren. At forward for USC, a 6'7" senior from Omaha, Nebraska. Number 0, St. Thomas. At center for Purdue, a 6'10" senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Number 1, Caleb First. At guard for USC, a 6'4" freshman from Beaumont, Texas. Number 6, Wesley Yates III. At guard for Purdue, a 6'3" freshman from Lexington, Massachusetts. Number 0, C.J. Cox. At guard for USC, a 6'6" junior from New Haven, Connecticut. Number 1, Desmond Claude. At guard for Purdue, a 6'5" junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Number 2, Fletcher Lawyer. At guard for USC, a 6'7" graduate student from San Diego, California. Number 7, Chibuzo Abo. And a guard for Purdue, a 6-foot junior from Westfield, Indiana. Number 3, Braden Smith. The head coach of USC is Eric Musselman. And the head coach of Purdue is Matt Hader.
Our starting lineups are powered by Ram Trucks. Desmond Claude coming off that huge night last night. Rashawn Agee was tremendous as well. Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, and Trey Kaufman-Renn. If things are going well for Purdue, you'll hear those names a lot. Time to welcome in the third member of our crew and say hello to Andy Katz.
Well, it was about midnight last night, early this morning, however you look at it, that I walked out of this arena with Wesley Yates and Desmond Claude after the top 6 USC players were in the cold tub. We're really trying to just decompress after that double overtime game late last night. They were all beat up. Yes, Wesley Yates playing literally almost 50 minutes. It was like 49.39 seconds. And today, it was rest, relax, get off your feet, no basketball until later in the afternoon. They did not have a practice. And remember, as you guys said earlier, Desmond Claude did not play because he was hurt in that first matchup against Purdue.
11 games this year for Claude with 20 points or more, 28 last night. His third best scoring game of the season for the Trojans. The 14th seed USC and the 6th seed Purdue ready to go to close out a fun day 2 here in Indianapolis.
For Purdue, guarding your individual man is going to be so important tonight. They haven't been great at defending the paint. Opponent shooting a high clip from 2, 56% on 2s against Purdue this season, 344th in college basketball. Purdue has got to avoid rotation, and certainly Desmond Claude and Wesley Yates are going to look to get to the rim all night long.